I go, overexposing again. I'm exposing myself. Ah! Got the truck back. Look at this. Got her in here. It is hot, hot. I'm not going to stick my camera right up in there right yet. I'm going to let it cool off a little bit. But right up underneath here, let's use this flashlight. Can you see this spot right in here? Okay, you look right up underneath there, behind the turbo, there's a bolt up in there. Now, if we look, let me turn you around here. If you look right there, see that bolt? Well, it's too bright. Ah. There we go. See that bolt right there in the center of the screen? And then there's one back there, brand new shiny bolt on the manifold. Okay, and then below it, right in the center of the screen, there's four. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. Right in there, you can barely see it. There's 5, below it 6. Number 6 there, the one I just counted off, number 6. That's the one that burned out or broke off. Okay, and if you go right up in there, I believe you can see it. Somewhere up in here. It's hard to get to. But anyway, to do this, you got to take all this turbo stuff, all this plastic hosing for the air-to-air and all this. You got to take all this stuff off. You got to take there's 1 turbo and there's 2 turbos. You got to take all of that off, unbolt all that, all right? And then they go all the way up to here. There's number 1 cylinder, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, okay? Okay, so they took all that off, and when they pulled it off, the manifold, he said the head was fine, but the manifold, where it was leaking, there was some scoring. And I said, well, what kind of scoring? I mean, nothing's going by there but a little bit of air. He says, yeah, but it's extremely hot air, and it's funneled, and think of it like dirt, and you get some water running across it, how it will etch the dirt out, eventually make a river, okay? It had just started to etch the surface. So he said, I didn't want to take a chance on it, not seating, and then you have it burn out again. Because if it leaks, it will eventually leak and leak and leak and get bigger and bigger, just like a leak on a dam, a dirt dam or something. You get a little bit of spillover, well, it knocks a little dirt out. Well, there's more water comes out and knocks some more dirt out, and it just keeps growing and growing and growing. Well, these gaskets are the same kind of way. You get a little bit of a leak, and eventually it gets to be a bigger leak, and then finally a failure, okay? He said it wasn't worth putting back on. He wanted to take it down and get it milled and flattened, get a nice flat surface. And when we put it back, it sealed real well. So anyway, got all that put together and picked it up, and let me go get the paperwork and show you the bill, okay? It wasn't a $27,000 engine overhaul, so I'm very happy. It seems like a lot of money, but it's not a lot of money. So let me get that paperwork out and I'll get right back with you. Okay, got the bill out, and what we've got here, we got some antifreeze. When he took it out, he had to put some new antifreeze in. I kind of wished he could have saved the old antifreeze. It was brand new, but anyway, $64 in antifreeze. Resurfaced the manifold, that was $200. And then gasket. So what is that, 30 bucks worth of gaskets roughly. Turbo gasket, I'm sorry, turbo gasket was 17 bucks. There's a couple of those blue hoses for like antifreeze, okay? A couple of those blue hoses. They're fairly expensive, but he said they're hard to get to. They're extremely hard to get to. So while they got the turbos off, might as well replace them because they looked old anyway. Anyway, so and then the hardware kit, the manifold hardware kit, that's all the studs and the bolts and everything. And then a couple of O-rings, and all together come up to $892 in parts and $1,680 in labor. So it come up to $2,780 with all the shop supplies and taxes and all that kind of stuff. Come up to $2,780 on for the total bill. So anyway, that's how much that costs. Seems a little expensive just to put a gasket on, huh? I'm blowing you out here. Seems a little expensive just to put a gasket on, but it's worth every penny. I hate working on these things. like to drive them, I like to look at them, like to live the lifestyle, that, you know, but I'm not a mechanic. I'm not a grease monkey. I don't do well under trucks. I can do things like changing that mirror and all that, but when you start crawling up underneath, I'm one of those that you could give me a brand new Peterbilt, just drove off the showroom floor. You put me on a crawler, I crawl up underneath there and I look up and dirt will fall in my eye. It's just, my eyes are magnets for that stuff and I hate it. And so I just don't do it. So mechanics are expensive, but they're worth every penny in my opinion. So with that said, we got the truck back. After I left the shop, I took it over to the tire shop and bought some tires, some steer tires, and I got another video coming up about that. Trying to explain why I don't get mileage out of tires. And no, it has nothing to do with alignment, okay? It's the nature of the beast. When you buy a big sleeper truck, the front end is a heck of a lot heavier, and the kind of tires you got to buy, they just don't last. And there's a reason for it. In my next video, I'll tell you all about that. So with that said, I guess I'm going to close the hood and head home, I guess, and call dispatch in the morning. So that's what we got. We got the truck back, ready to roll. So